What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Kari.HQ here. So today I gotta talk to you guys about why I'm leaving 𝐦𝐤𝐤, man. I just dropped off my motorcycle to get washed. I like to come here because it's super cheap. It's only like 12 mil for a basic wash. That's like $3. But today's video, man, yeah, I've been living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 for about a year now, and I finally decided to leave. I think I've had enough. And I'm gonna talk to you guys about why. Like, you know, 𝐦𝐤𝐤 is not a bad place or nothing like that, but there's a lot to it, you know. I'm gonna try to discuss that. Let me get my glasses on. All right, so I'm deep in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 right now. This is not really the side of 𝐦𝐤𝐤 I live on, but like I said, I came over here to get my car wash, or my moto wash, and it's like, well, 4 p.m., 4:20 actually, and I'm gonna just talk to you guys and let you know my thoughts on living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 for over a year, almost a year and a half I've been living here. First of all, the biggest reason that I'm leaving 𝐦𝐤𝐤 above everything else is how far it is from the rest of Medellin. So let me turn around, let you see the block that I'm on actually, out here. Yeah, the biggest problem I have with 𝐦𝐤𝐤 is that it's too far from Medellin. And I like to go to the good restaurants that they have in Medellin that they don't have in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. I like to go out to some clubs that are, you know, in Medellin. Also go to some clubs out here in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 as well. But a lot of the places that I like to go out to happen to be in Medellin. And so, if you guys didn't know, 𝐦𝐤𝐤 is a separate municipality than Medellin, completely. So is Envigado, so is Itagüí, so is Sabaneta, Caldas, Copacabana is different, yeah. So it's not like a part of Medellin technically, it's a different city. Whereas though, like Laureles is a part of Medellin. So it's good to make that distinction, but either way, guys, it's just too far. Like, me driving the Moto all the time, just doing the math on it, there's no way that I'm not gonna get in an accident eventually. When you're on the freeway, on the autopista here in Medellin, or going back and forth from Medellin to 𝐦𝐤𝐤, pretty flowers. Just the law of averages, man. You're gonna get in an accident eventually. If you spend all day on the road, eventually you get in an accident. No matter how good of a driver you are, you know, or that type of thing, it happens to everybody. So I don't want that to happen. And, you know, that's another thing. You know, you're spending money on gas, going back and forth. You're putting a whole bunch of miles on the Moto and stuff like that. And then if you want to do Uber sometimes, which I do Uber sometimes, it's expensive, right? It's like gonna be like 35 to 40 to possibly 50 mil, depending on what time and how much traffic it is. So it costs a lot. Versus if I'm living in Poblado or in the south in Envigado or something like that, then, you know, I can get back and forth from, you know, most of the place that I'm going, you know, from Uber. If I want to take Uber, it'll be like 10 mil, 15 mil. It won't be like 30 mil. So that's a lot better, a lot more savings. And so yeah, you got the cops out here. Yeah, 𝐦𝐤𝐤's never been like really a dangerous place for me. Like, I never seen it that way as being like super dangerous or nothing. So that didn't really go into my decision to leave. Another thing is, here in 𝐦𝐤𝐤, they don't have a lot of stuff that I like to do. Like the nice restaurants like I mentioned, or they have some clubs that I actually like over here, but I think I like some of the clubs. If I had to choose between the ones they have in Medellin, I'd probably choose the ones in Medellin, for whatever reason. Whether it's the crowd, I like the crowd a little bit more over there. Obviously it's a little bit cheaper to go out here. Like if you go get a bottle at the spots out here, it's probably gonna be a tad bit cheaper than would be in Medellin, which is nice. But you know, it's far and things like that. So when I have people coming into town, a lot of times it's a struggle for me to link up with them because I'm up here on the north doing my thing. You know, I work most of the day, so you know, when it's nighttime, you gotta wait till like at least 7 or 8 for the traffic to die down before you can really get on the freeway and move around a lot, because the traffic is so bad for those, you know, hours between 5 and 7 p.m. So, you know, just create a lot of problems. But 𝐦𝐤𝐤's not a bad place. It's definitely not the point I want to make. Like, it's a great place if you mainly hang out up here. If you don't have a lot to do, or you don't see yourself doing a lot, or needing to go back to Medellin a lot. Also, my girl, most of the girls that I dated were down there in the south. And then in 𝐦𝐤𝐤, a lot of times the girls up here, like I've met a lot of cool girls that were bad and everything, but I don't always like hit it off with girls in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. I have, but I still have more girls there in the city in Medellin because their situations are just better out there. Usually, like I'm dealing with like ghetto girls in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 that are kind of a headache to hang out with sometimes, or they're just a lot harder to link up. Like I found the girls that live a little better, that have a little bit more money, they operate better. Like they're easier to go out on a date. Whereas though, like it's the ghetto girls, the poor girls, they're the most flakiest. It's so weird. But that's just my experience here in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. You can see it's pretty active over here where I'm at. As always, man, it's always active, you know, typically active. If they're doing some type of empanadas over here.
¿No está grabando?
¿Qué?
¿No está grabando?
Una feria.
¿La feria?
No, ¿qué feria? De flores.
Ah.
¿Qué feria? Hay feria aquí en 𝐦𝐤𝐤.
Sí, aquí en la fiesta de Quitazón.
Ah, esa
la
no
feria
sé.
de Medellín, las flores de por el Medellín.
¿Qué está haciendo aquí? Empanadas.
Sí. ¿Soy de dónde?
Yo soy de África.
Ah, tú eres de África.
Sí.
¿Norte o sur?
¿Qué?
¿Norte o sur?
Norte.
Norte.
Norte oeste. Sí.
Ah, qué bueno.
Y te pregunto, si te gusta viviendo en 𝐦𝐤𝐤.
Claro, es que 𝐦𝐤𝐤 es lo mejor. 𝐦𝐤𝐤 es bello.
¿Sí? ¿Para qué?
A vivir.
Que dame 2 cosas de 𝐦𝐤𝐤
¿Quiere qué cosas que le diga?
Sí, que te gusta.
La gente es muy amable.
Okay, the people here are nice. Okay.
Los pasteles y este negocio es tocar delicioso.
Solo por este negocio.
Sí.
Okay.
¿Qué va a poner otro?
Sí, dame 2 cosas que son malas de 𝐦𝐤𝐤.
Pues el que la hace las paga. Aquí nadie más se mate con nadie.
¿Qué?
El que la hace las paga.
Okay.
¿Sí, ¿sí entendió qué es?
No.
Que si usted hace algo malo, usted las paga.
Ah, okay. If you do something bad, you have to pay for it. Si tú haces algo malo, tienes que pagar por tus acciones.
Pero no con plata. Y no vea, ¡ping!
Con tu vida. Con tu vida.
Y
la otra, no.
No, la otra no. Pues,
Solo
normal.
una cosa mala. Explícame el proceso. De aquí.
Arepa huevo, pasteles, empanadas, mejor dicho.
Ah, okay.
De todo un poquito bien bueno. Voy a probar la arepa de huevo.
Casera.
Casera y deliciosa, mira, se chupa usted los dedos.
Ok. Bueno, muchas gracias. No tengo hambre en este momento, pero más tarde voy a regresar para una. ¿Okay?
Hágale pues, mi amor,
Okay.
por acá la orden.
Listo. ¿Cómo se llama?
Alba.
Alba. Mucho gusto. Okay?
Bueno.
Chao. See, the people are definitely nice. As you can see, you know, she just told me one thing about 𝐦𝐤𝐤, guys. If you do something bad out here, you got to pay for it. And it's not necessarily with money. she said you got to pay with your life. So like, I mean, bro, take that. I mean, she just literally told me that I'm walking down the street, asked her like, what's one of the bad things about 𝐦𝐤𝐤, and like, straight out of her mouth, bro, straight out of her mouth, that's the answer. But she also said they're really good people. She was talking about the food, saying that one of the reasons that 𝐦𝐤𝐤 is good is because of that place right there, and you know, I could assume that a lot of the food around here is good, especially the street food. You get a lot of different cultures, like a lot of Venezuelans over here and stuff like that, and so they make the food that is typical for Venezuela. See right here, you can see some, looks like volleyball teams over there. They got a soccer field. Looks like they about to get ready to practice and whatnot. But yeah, like I was saying, I really like, you can meet really good girls and here in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll never, like, it just depends on the girl that you meet, and it depends on how you treat the girl and how you really like move forward with the relationship and stuff. Like, it's a lot on you more so than it is on like the girl, and it's also about how you select the girls and stuff like that. Like, do you just get girls out the club all the time, or you know, do you meet girls that are like at work, or you know, girls that are doing positive stuff? So and I love these motos right here, the RX 115 by Yamaha. It's a classic moto that they love to ride out here. You know, it's comfortable. Like, as a gringo, you know, I don't feel like super dangerous being out here, super at risk and whatnot. Hold up. I figure, you know, as long as I'm nice and cool to people, I ain't got a lot of jewelry on. I just got this bracelet and this necklace. Look at the kids doing their warm-up. It looks like warming up to do headers. You know, headers in soccer. This is a nice field, guys. Look at that field. It's AstroTurf. You know, I'm not sure exactly what team or what age group the team is, but no, 𝐦𝐤𝐤's beautiful, man. I gotta say that. But like, going back to my point of this video, I really want to be closer to the things that I do a lot more. You know, like I kind of just live in 𝐦𝐤𝐤, and then I'm always going back into Medellin almost every single day, it seems like. Whether it's to go, I mean, just everything I do is usually in Medellin. I could change that. I could do everything I need up here. But like for example, the shop where I bought my motorcycle and I get my motorcycle serviced, I like to go back to the shop because they give me a discount on the labor when I go back and get the maintenance done there. So that's in Poblado, so I gotta go all the way to Poblado when I do oil change and stuff like that. And so yeah, I could do it up here for sure. I could do it. It'd probably be cheaper, but I just really got a good relationship with the people over there, so I like to maintain that relationship. But the restaurants, you can't really get around that. Like, you're not gonna find top-end restaurants in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. They really like don't exist up here. You're gonna find a lot of street food. You're gonna find a lot of restaurants that are, you know, on the lower tier of things. You know, you're gonna find kind of a lot of knockoff, a lot of, you know, basic shopping, you know, knockoff shopping, you know, where you don't know where the stuff came from, more or less, which is cool. Like, I don't really shop in Colombia like that anyway. I find it, you know, kind of like a lot of the stuff you just don't know. Like, it could say Adidas, but it's probably not Adidas. Like if you're into name brands and you don't like wearing fake stuff, then like it's hard to shop out here. Unless, if you do, the stuff that you know is real. They have places in like El Tesoro Mall that have real designer and stuff, but that stuff is overpriced. It's like more expensive than what it should cost. And yeah, so for that reason, I try to shop when I'm in different places. So this looks like the volleyball team setting up. Maybe they need those for the nets or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, other reasons that I want to go back to Poblado. Let's see. Well, Poblado, it's easier to link up and do business, I would say. Like, you're gonna meet a lot more people that are kind of got more money. Like, it's hard to meet people that with money in a place where it's just poor, you know. Like, it's that part is hard, and you're just not gonna run into a lot of people that got money in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. And a lot of times the people that you run into, once they find out you're a gringo, they're not shy to ask you for stuff, or they expect you to pay for their beer or whatever it is, you know. I've had that situation occur up here. Like, I met this Venezuelan guy. He's a nice guy, and he like befriended me really quickly and all this, but like, he would just ask me for little shit like, yo, you got 2 mil to buy beer. It's only 2 mil, but I just don't like when people ask me for shit, like, period. So that's kind of another element of living in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. What else could I say, man? I don't know. It's there's some good things too. I mean, I should tell you that it's a lot cheaper. Like, the apartment that I've been living in for the last year or so, I've been paying like super cheap price, man. Like 1.3 million was my rent. That's over the year, that's roughly been about $300, you know. And so that part of it has been great. Been saving a lot of money. But again, am I really saving when I have to get on the freeway every day, back and forth for like 30 minutes at least, you know? And then I'm also putting my life at risk by doing that, which I don't like. That's the most important piece of it, is like, I'm actually, you know, just hiring the chances of getting in an accident by being on the road all the time. It's just, you know, simple statistics. Like, it may never happen, even if I'm out here all the time. It may never happen that I get in an accident, but you know, I don't really want to risk it, you know. I really don't. Yeah, so again, like I said too, a lot of my girls are in the south, so I'd rather be closer to that, you know, all the girls that I deal with typically. But no, the people are very nice here. I'll never knock 𝐦𝐤𝐤 at all. I'll never knock 𝐦𝐤𝐤 at all. And you will find some of the most beautiful women in 𝐦𝐤𝐤. If you could stomach everything else about 𝐦𝐤𝐤 that I kind of don't like, then you'll be fine. You know, you'll see a lot of beauties out here. What's gotta say? What's gotta say? Like, for going to different parts of Colombia, I find, or like the airport, it takes probably like an extra 30 minutes to get to the airport from 𝐦𝐤𝐤, which is kind of annoying. I miss flights doing that. Whereas though in Poblado, you're literally like 30 minutes from the airport instead of like an hour, which is a lot nicer. But you know, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I actually feel like, you know, it may be safer in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 than it is in Poblado, because people in 𝐦𝐤𝐤 are not looking really to rob people, because mostly everyone over here is coming from the same situation of being like poor, you know. So I feel like in Poblado, you're gonna see a lot more robberies because the people from the poor barrios, they tend to go there and target people because they know that's where people with money are. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Hey, te pregunto. Tengo dos preguntas. ¿Tú puedes ayudarme?
Claro.
Ok. Dame dos cosas de Bello que te gusta viviendo aquí.
La comida.
La comida.
Sí, hay muchas partes donde uno puede comer.
Ok. ¿Qué es tu favorito cosa para?
Salchipapas.
Salchipapas. Ok. Y uno más cosa que te gusta de Bello.
La gente.
La gente son ¿qué? Amables.
Muy amables, muy sonrientes, buena gente.
¿Y tú vives aquí
Sí,
toda la vida?
Toda la vida.
Ok. Y dos cosas que no te gusta de Bello.
El tráfico.
El tráfico, sí, eso es verdad.
El tráfico y que roban mucho a veces.
Que roban mucho.
A veces.
Ay, por la noche.
Sí, por la noche.
Sí, sí.
Muy tarde de la noche.
Ok. ¿Y cómo se llama tú?
Manuela.
Manuela. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
19.
19. ¿Tienes una Instagram?
Sí.
Que yo puedo compartir en mi video. Tengo
Sí.
una canal de YouTube. Me gustaría compartir tus sociales redes.
Ok.
Y tú puedes buscar para mí y voy a seguir. ¿Ok?
Ese es el mío.
Ok. No tienes nada.
Nada.
Cero publicaciones.
Nada.
¿Para qué?
Apenas lo abrí, yo no utilizo mucho
Clandestina.
Instagram. Ajá.
Ah,
Un poquito. ¿Y cuál es el suyo?
vea. Kari.
KARI.HQ. Vas a ver cuál de todos. Ah, ok, Q.
Ajá.
Ok.
Soy yo.
Ah.
Sígueme, ¿ok?
Listo. ¿Usted
Bueno.
de dónde?
Soy de Estados Unidos,
¿De qué parte?
Texas,
Ah,
por el sur, donde es muy calor.
mucho calor.
Con la frontera de México.
Ah,
Sí.
Yo tengo familia, pero no en Texas.
Sí, sí.
En otra parte.
Miami, Nueva York.
Sí, Miami, Nueva York.
Sí, como todos los colombianos.
Y mi
tienen-
mamá ha ido a Boston.
súper.
Ajá.
Mucho gusto, la verdad.
Listo.
Voy a enviar mi video cuando está
Listo.
saliendo. Listo.
Dale, chao.
Ciao. Bueno, so I'm hearing like the same things. Like people love the people. People really like the food here. But mind you, these are Colombians or sometimes Venezuelans, and they like the food here. But I'll be the first to tell you that most of the time they have a different palate than what we have coming from the States. So, you know, I find some of the food that they really like salchipapas, it can be really good. The only thing, it's just some of the stuff I don't like, you know, like they put eggs in it. Arepas sometimes, it just depends on what you get on it. But I really like the old school traditional food of Colombia, like the bandeja paisa, the chicharrón, the frijoles, you know, the menú del día, the soups, all that type of stuff. I really love it, especially the meats and stuff like that. But a lot of the street food, like the hot dogs here, to me are horrible. I don't know if they use, it's like, it tastes like 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿 sausage. If you ever had a 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿 sausage back home in the States, that's what all their hot dogs be tasting like out here. And then they just put a whole bunch of toppings on it and a whole bunch of sauces on it. And I don't really vibe with it. So here's a little moto shop. And they're fixing up motos. And you can get stuff done for cheap out here. Like if you want to get your moto done, let's say you want to get something painted or something like that, you get it done for cheap. And yeah, that's a good thing about Bello. It's not all bad, but see, even she was saying that they rob a lot of people here. I've never been robbed, thank God, in any part of Colombia So, you know, maybe I've been lucky, but I'm also precautious. Like, look, I'm not doing this video in the middle of the night. I think if I was doing it in the middle of the night, that might raise my chances of getting robbed at least 50%. I don't know. But you live and you learn. And you always gotta be vigilant and be watching. But I don't feel like I'm drawing papaya. Like, yeah, I have a little camera out and I'm talking, but I'm also looking around. I don't have really anything of value that I'm showing. Like, have an Apple Watch on, but I mean, what's an Apple Watch really worth? Like $200, $300. I guess to them that's a lot, but again, it's not a big ticket item like a big gold chain or a Rolex watch or a brand new iPhone or something like that. So, you know, I only have like barely 20 mil on me, literally, in cash. So it's just not gonna be a very fruitful robbery if you come at me. Look at this puppy. He's just like coming through the door. That is so funny. That's so funny. I hope you can't fit in. He scared me. I shook the camera when he started barking because he was so calm. But I don't think he can fit through there, but I don't want to try. Definitely don't want to try. So you can see here, man, they're just like really going hard with the street food right now. I want to try something. He's trying to sell his stuff. He's got candy and whatnot. I'm not in the mood for all that. But see, they see me with a camera. They probably think I'm not from here. They're gonna try it. They might try to follow me. You just gotta keep an eye, you know. But most of those dudes, they're just trying to make a little buck, man. Make a peso, you know. This guy's getting his nails done. A little like small at-home salon there. This is a beautiful place. Like, you got a little ice cream shop right here. A family enjoying their ice cream. It's a very wholesome place, but you know, it can get real out here as well. This is a pharmacy right here. It could get real quick out here at any time. And as we see here, we see a few more black people. Come on, yeah. You see a few more black people than you see in, I would say, in the south or in Poblado. But yeah, it's good and bad to every area of the city. No place is perfect. No place is perfect. You got these little hardware stores. You could do your, it's like a mini Home Depot in there, you know? You can get all types of tools, all types of nuts and bolts that you might need to work on something. Sometimes they got paint, you know, because a lot of these people, they be building their house by themselves. You know what I mean? They be building all this by themselves a lot of the times. It's a lot of work. Yeah, and then you see a lot of old people. A lot of old people are treated very well over here. You know, I feel like they have a lot of respect for their older people. Just they just don't fuck with the old people that much. Straight up. They just don't. They usually have respect and let them slide. I have seen a few assholes robbing old people though, and that's just like despicable. I don't know how you do something like that. You gotta be a pretty big piece of shit to do that. But hey, some people are. Some people are. Another thing over here, man, if you have services like water, electricity, internet, I feel like I had more outages up here Like there was more times during the day where my internet would cut out for whatever reason, and it would take, man, one time it took like 4 days for Claro to come and fix the problem. We were out of internet for 4 days. Like that was horrible. For me, I had to go to my girl's house and work over there, because I can't just tell, you know, my boss that, hey, we are out of internet. That shit doesn't happen in the United States. Not for 3 or 4 days. Oh, they got some music up here, so I'm gonna get past this and then continue. We got a tire shop. There goes a man. Could be wrong, but they're making it harder and harder to tell nowadays. But you know, at least with me, if there's any shadow of a doubt, it's like, but this is a nice house right here. That's dope. Right in the middle of 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤. Right in the middle of 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤. You can tell the brick is a wallpaper though. That's funny. This is like a wallpaper brick at the bottom. It's not real brick. But that's just a dope house. It's big. It's got the garage. It's really nice. Yeah, it's gotta be without a shadow of a doubt that you're a woman nowadays. Ain't no, I think so, or nothing like that. Because the doctors out here is getting too good at that. Concealing it. So this is a paint place. Looks like they do paint here. 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤𝐞. Pintura. It's pretty interesting. So you see a lot of this type of stuff. People riding around with no helmet with their little kid on the back. You will not see people doing that in Poblado. I seen this one couple on a motorcycle one time, and they all had helmets, but they had a little kid in between the mom and the dad. The dad was driving. It's like that. You see them over there? They got the kid sandwiched in the middle. They was like that, and they had helmets on in Poblado. And I saw the cops pull them over straight away. Like straight away. So yeah, I mean, they don't play that shit in Poblado. You could do that shit all day over here though. In 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐤. No problem, man. No questions asked. So let's see what the status is on the bike. Pulling back up over here to where they're working on my bike. But yeah, I really need a wash to clean. Man, I can't remember the last time I got my bike washed. It's been a while. Plus I've been in Europe for a week and a half. And so, you know, I've been overdue. I've been real overdue for a wash. And finally got it. Hola, me gusta tu camisa. She had the weed on her shirt. That's funny. And she got a little kid. Thugging it. Looks like they're getting out of school over here or something. You know what I mean? Back, this is a car wash over here. Also, see, they working on my yeah, I can see my bike right there in the back. So, and then on top of that, they got an apartment complex on top. So they're not wasting no space out here at all, bro. They're getting it done. You see people just chilling, like you got men up here chilling, balcony. A lot of people are gonna be curious of a guy just like talking to a camera out here though. So I'm used to it, man. It doesn't really make me uncomfortable. Most people are just interested to to figure out like who you are, what you're doing. It's not like, oh, we're about to rob this guy for using the camera and talking to himself. You know what I mean? The people are much nicer than that, more or less. That's what I'm trying to say. ¿Qué más? Es mi amigo. De Cuba, de Venezuela, de todos lados, ¿cierto?
Bien.
Mira.
Uy.
Sí. ¿Tuviste anoche?
Y Cabrera no estaba bateando.
Este chico le encanta béisbol.
Profesor.
Sí.
Teacher.
Pitcher, tú. Tú.
De béisbol.
90 millas.
No, ahorita no tiro ni 80.
80, okay. Ah, cool, bro. Cool. Okay, let's go see. They're doing a taxi over here. Just washing her down. Alright guys, so I haven't officially said where I'm moving to yet. I think I'm gonna talk more about that in the next video. You know, I've already picked out the spot that I'm gonna be moving to. So stay tuned guys, find out where 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐞 is moving to next, man. After a year living in Bello, Antioquia. Alright? Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. Show your boy some love. I'm out.